different issues and concerns. I'm finding so many different mentalities that it seems hard. It seems challenging. I don't say hard because the only thing hard is the concrete that we walk on. Everything else is a challenge. So I'm ready for this challenge, and I was built for this. I think that we all have a purpose in life, and mine is to take on a task that most will back away from. That impossible. So people say it's impossible. I see possibilities. I don't see anything as being impossible. Mentalities, there are different mentalities, but just like there's different ways to teach people how to read, there's different ways to communicate people. There's different ways to communicate people and their different mentalities. So I do see hope. I see hope in us all coming together and understanding each other and learning to.
But the problem is where we get frustrated at is when I go to the 39th district for a meeting, and they say, we know about it. And if you know about it, what are you doing? So every now and then, for let's say for window dressing, they show up. And it moves on, but it's still going on. Now you have older people trying to get to the store, and all these guys are standing out there. Right. And everybody knows about it. You might even know about the corner. I don't have to call the corner out, but we do know. I can talk to you about the corner after. But how is it that they will identify and say, yeah, we know about it, and nothing's done?
Well, again, I can't speak on behalf of whoever said that to you. I understand how frustrating it is. Right, I understand how frustrating it is. And there's nothing I can say that would make you feel better. No answer I can give you is just say, hey, gotcha. Right. So I was born at night, it wasn't last night. So I ain't gonna try to give you no answer that's gonna make you think, oh, I got the magic answer. But I will say, again, that we recognize, and I think in a new way of how to be a prosecutor, is that I have to understand four things: economic development, public health, education, and public safety. And to be an advocate for any one of them, you have to be an advocate for all four of them because they're so connected. So I'll go places and talk about why we need more jobs. Some people say, why is the DA doing that? What's he running for? You want to be governor or something? No. We put more young men to job. We dig the Delaware deeper. That's called dredging the Delaware. It'll put more young men to work as longshoremen. My grandfather's a longshoreman. He sent 4 daughters to college just by throwing big bags of rice in a boat. So we have to understand how more people getting jobs helps reduce crime. 24% of all Philadelphians live at or below the national poverty level. It's a terrible statistic. Education, I talked earlier about truancy, right? Having more people that stay in school, that are job ready, reduces crime. Public health, what am I talking about there? By getting more people into drug rehab, having drug rehab facilities available in the community, and public health, mental health help. We used to have more mental health facilities in the community. President Reagan shut them down. We don't spend less money now, it's just where we spend them is different. The #1 provider for mental health treatment in America is the Los Angeles County prison system. #2 is the New York City prison system. #3, you see a pattern here, the 3 is the Cook County prison system in Illinois, where Chicago is. So we're still treating people for mental health problems, and with lots of money, but where we do it is different. Now we're waiting for them to act out, then we arrest them, they go to jail, and try to get to them there. So again, we have to understand how all these are connected. So, kind of to answer your question, the drug dealers, who are they? Well, they're not people that are flying in from, if they're selling drugs in the 39th district, I can assure you, they're from the 39th district. There's somebody's son from that block, or a couple blocks away. That's one issue. Well, I can assure you that you're not coming from Norristown, you're not coming from Montgomery County, you're not coming from Arizona. So the people who are selling it are from the neighborhood. That's somebody's kid.
Norristown comes there.
Okay, that's true. And we got to deal with that. Or it's the kids who, 50% of all the drugs that are consumed in the suburbs. That's a reality too. I got that. Other issues, we have to reduce the demand. So we can try to help reduce people who are addicts and stop kids from starting, right? I had a daughter had a 13-year-old birthday party a couple weeks ago. All the little boys are going around trying to get the balloons and sucking down the helium. They thought it was funny because their voices changed, but I don't like the idea of kids doing things and it's like start them doing drugs. I was stopping all of them. That's like the DA had me. I was taking stuff and beating up little kids. So we have to do all we can to stop it before it starts as well. So again, please tell Mr. Price the address, that neighborhood, and if it's not something that Ms. Nash already knows about, she can look into who are the people that are responsible there, who has open cases, and what we can do to try to stop it. But again, a lot of those kids know if you take the one guy off the corner, he'll just get another kid who's going to get the $8 an hour right behind him. So we have to give them alternatives as well. And whenever the economy is tight, what are the first things that they shut down? Rec centers, libraries, the very things that more likely than not are how you can prevent crime. So I'm going to take what we're doing now is we're starting a pilot program in South Philadelphia, in the 17th district, called Focus Deterrence, where we're doing a gun stab. We're identifying the most violent people in the most violent neighborhoods. And then we're going to do something very creative that this guy named David Kennedy started in a couple other places, where we're going to bring in, so if we know that there's a name of this group that is selling drugs, we don't have gangs like the Bloods and the Crips like they do in LA, but we have smaller groups of guys that wear the tattoos or do some different signs, but they're not like the same type of, but we have a lot of them. So what we're going to do is, if we know that the Platter Boys are selling all the drugs in this neighborhood, and that's the name of one of the groups, right? We have down south of a group called TNT, the Tanny and Dickinson squad, hit squad, they call themselves, the murder team, right? So we know that the TNT murder team is responsible for a lot of violence in a specific neighborhood. Well, we can figure out whether there are maybe 8 guys from the murder team that are on probation. We're going to bring them in, because they have to listen to the probation officer. You got to be at the DA's office at noon on Thursday. Listen, want me to tell you what's going on? Well, so what I'm saying is, one, you can tell a mayor to give the DA and the police more money. That's one thing. Okay, but what we're trying to do is with the little money we have, is trying to find things that work other places. Because I just can't make it go away. We have laws, we have rules, I have to follow rules. If I start putting everybody in jail because Seth said that he thinks they should be in jail, then I go to the front page of Daily News and be pissed off about that. Right. So with focused deterrence, we're going to identify the most violent people. And then we're going to bring them in, like 8 of them, a representative group of them, and say, look, we're going to be on your whole crew, like white on rice. Every time your girlfriend comes out of the house, every time your mom goes somewhere in a car, every time you go somewhere, we're going to stop you, we're going to search you. Because we have probable cause to believe you all have guns. And we're going to be on you like white on rice as long as the violence continues. If the violence stops, then we're going to go deal with somebody else. And it worked in some other cities, and we're going to try and do that here. So what you can... Right, but there's always going to be a tension. I mean, we need to realize there's always going to be a tension. I believe that stop and frisk is legal pursuant to the Supreme Court in the 60s. But some people, when you say we're going to start stopping and frisking, we're going to start getting more people off the corner, then everybody else is going to start protesting with signs saying we're taking away their rights. So it has to be in a fair and orderly way. I'm interested in looking into that, and we'll get your name, and we'll get back to you about what we find out about that. Yes, ma'am. No loitering signs? Okay, sir? He just plays one on TV.
I have a lot of guys that come into the recovery, because I work in the recovery session, and a lot of them come in and say, this is great, that we get to hang out here instead of hanging out in the corner, and doing that so you know, and go home.
Thank you. What's your name, sir? All right, let's all give him a round of applause. All right, ma'am, over here, you have your hand up. Okay.
Hello everybody. I have a question. I'm glad you put emphasis on job development. I own a business in South Philadelphia and also for a major corporation where I do a lot of hiring. At the business that in South Philadelphia, it's like a neighborhood type of growth. So I have a lot of young men who come in that from the neighborhood that I know who've been in trouble. They come in and and I've got to know these young men who have come in and asked me for jobs, and I help them get jobs. They know where I work at, the corporation I work at, and they ask me, can you help me get a job? And if I get a job, I promise I can do this, I do that. So, but the corporation I work with, we do background checks, felonies and things like that. So is there a way maybe a program created? I know Johnson off the application, we no longer ask for felonies, right? But could a program maybe be created where y'all can help these offenders get back to work, maybe then y'all can monitor them, check up on them, make sure they get their schedule, make sure they work it, maybe give corporations, these companies tax rates for hiring them, and just get them back to their job development. Because what happens is that people, as we as the people, we tend to, when we try to do something that is wrong, it can't work, but we tend to go back to doing back to what we know works.
Right.
And
So it's a very good point. And the mayor's office has an office called RISE. And it's their job to help reintegrate people back into the community after they have been incarcerated in state or county facilities. So I don't have that in our budget, but I work with them. They often attend meetings like this. And so if you call the City Hall switchboard, and that's 686-1776, they can connect you to RISE. Ask for RISE, R-I-S-E. And they're the ones that provide those services. In addition, I had a meeting today with the chairman of the Pennsylvania Parole and Probation, the Board of Probation and Parole. They provide a lot of reentry service as well, but not enough. But again, you get to talk to lawmakers in your community, because for too many years people said, we don't want to give money to that. We'd rather just build more prisons. 95% of people go to prison and come home. And he was talking about a facility that he went to. When I go to community meetings and talk about we have to have a place in Southwest Philadelphia, in zip code 19143, to help people that are coming home from prison, all the people that will show up at that meeting will be there to say, we don't want it in our neighborhood. But the reality is almost 99% of the people that will be going to that facility to get help, because they came home from state prison, live in that neighborhood and catch the 46 bus and the L like everybody else in that neighborhood. So it takes people to talk up why it's important to have these facilities to help people when they're coming home so they can get right. And that, this whole not my backyard, we have to, but again, that's not in my budget. I don't run that program. That's the mayor and RISE.
Exploring different issues and concerns. I'm finding so many different mentalities that it seems hard. It seems challenging.